Hey there, amazing people. I'm thrilled to have you here today. It's a pleasure to have you join us as we uncover the secrets of Mary Sibande. Mary Sibande, born 1982, is a South African artist based in Johannesburg. Her art consists of sculptures, paintings, photography, and design. Sibande uses these mediums and techniques to help depict the human form and explore the construction of identity in a postcolonial South African context. In addition, Sibande focuses on using her work to show her personal experiences while living through apartheid. Her art also attempts to critique stereotypical depictions of women, particularly black women. With our foundation established, it's time to explore early life and its relevance to our overarching theme. Sibande was born in Barberton in apartheid South Africa and was raised by her grandmother. Her mother was a domestic worker herself, and her father was in the South African Army. She did not know her father when she was younger but got to know him when she was a teenager. Because her mother was a domestic worker, she pays homage to domestic workers with her artworks. Artworks such as the ones from her exhibit, Long Live the Dead Queen. Sibande would describe her childhood as being perfect. She states that I had everything I needed, and I went to a good high school which was multiracial. Many families couldn't afford to send their kids there, but I was fortunate that my mum was able to. I guess that also pushed me in a certain direction. Brace yourself for a deep dive into education as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. Sibande received her diploma in fine arts from the Technikon Witwatersrand in 2004. She obtained a BTech degree from the University of Johannesburg in 2007. At first, Sibande wanted to be a fashion designer, and art was more of an afterthought. Her aspirations of being a fashion designer are still prominent throughout all of her works. The usage of fashion and design are all over and displayed beautifully throughout every single one of her sculptures. In 2001, Sibande moved in with her mother to Johannesburg, where she was studied at Witwatersrand Technikon. Let's now turn our gaze towards career and work and explore the fascinating connections it has to offer. Sibande has used her work to expose many different things, from postcolonial South Africa to stereotypes of women, as well as stereotypes regarding black women in South Africa. Her work contains multiple types of mediums such as sculpture, photography, design, collage, and even theatrics. Sibande's painting and sculpture uses the human form to explore the construction of identity in a postcolonial South African context, but also attempts to critique stereotypical depictions of women, particularly black women. She was the South African representative at the 45th 2011 Venice Biennale, and her work Long Live the Dead Queen was found in murals all over the city of Johannesburg in 2010. In 2016, her work The Purple Shall Govern toured South Africa. Sibande has also used her artwork to focus on giving voiceless people their voice back. Some have even said that her work confronts the very inkling of a disempowered African female, and that her work aims to crack the Morse code associated with Western ideals of beauty and how they can appeal to black women. In this section, we'll be shedding light on design and its impact on our understanding of the subject. Sibande was determined to be a fashion designer and said, "There were no museums and galleries in the town I grew up in. That was foreign to me." Sibande has used her knowledge and love for design to incorporate in her works. She has focused her fashion design for every piece of wardrobe her sculptures wear. In her conversation with Madam C.J. Walker exhibit, her knowledge and skill of cloth and fashion design are apparent. Her design and fashion work are also very carefully thought about. The fabrics and color Sibande chooses to use have different meaning and impact on her work. In a journal article for the UNISA and Durban Art Gallery article, an author named Carol Brown spoke about the usage of fabric in Sibande's work. She states that the fabric used to produce uniforms for domestic workers is an instantly recognizable sight in domestic spaces in South Africa. And by applying it to Victorian dress, she attempts to make a comment about history of servitude and colonization as it relates to the present in terms of domestic relationships. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of photography and examine its core elements. Sibande has used photography to capture and construct her artworks. In 2013, she had 7 enlarged photographs of her work displayed on the streets of French suburbs such as Ivry-sur-Seine, Vitry-sur-Seine, and Choisy-le-Roi. Photography has not only played a big part on her big public displays but also in her day-to-day work. Sibande takes into consideration how her work will be photographed, which is reflected in how she presents and structures her works and installations. Many of her shows include both a display of her sculptures as well as photographs she's taken of her work or installations. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore sculpture through a fresh lens, unlocking new perspectives. At first, she would make little figures out of clay, and that was about the full extent of artworks at the time. In the end, she would with the art route. However, Sibande states, "I can now marry the two worlds. Fashion and fine art aren't far off from each other." Later on, Sibande's background and knowledge with sculpture became an extensive one, with exhibits such as her Long Live the Dead Queen series in 2013. One is able to see the beginning of her character Sophie, who is one of her best known and reappearing character in her sculptures. Sophie, the main feature in all of her works, is a sculpture. Sophie is molded after Sibande herself and is like her alter ego. Sibande's sculpture draws energy from the long history of female domestic workers during the Apartheid and post-Apartheid. The sculpture, Sophie, attempts to critique the long history of oppression in South Africa, specifically regarding black women in South Africa. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of theatrics and examine its core elements. Sibande's work is well known for both her whimsy and theatrics. The theatrics of her work plays a big role in how she showcases and portrays her characters as well as her messages. In an article by Lara Faber, the author makes an analysis that many other critics have said. Sibande's theatrical quotations of the language of dress and use of dramatic poses may be related to photographic representations of the Victorian female hysteric in various stages of a hysterical attack, in that they both evoke a sense of excess. The use Sibande has for positioning her sculpture, in addition to all of the other components of her work, are to evoke an impression on the viewer. Let's now turn our attention to Sophie and uncover the fascinating insights it brings to the table. Sophie has played a large role in Sibande's work. Sophie, as previously mentioned, is Sibande's alter ego. She is a domestic worker who finds peace and an escape from servitude by dreaming of emancipating herself. The character is in an imaginary and dreamlike world where she is finally free. Sophie's life is collected and presented through a series of human-scale sculptures molded on Sibande herself. Sophie's working uniform is gradually transformed into the Grand Victorian wear of the European elite. Placing Sophie in Victorian clothing comments on the restriction of women in these large, heavy and tightened-up dresses. Her dress is a protest against being a maid, and at the same time, it is the fayette that allows her fantasies to come to life. Sophie starts to take different roles throughout Sibande's work in addition to being different types of people. In each work, Sophie portrays different personas, one being a Victorian queen, another being a general who leads an entire army to victory. She's also a beautiful woman going to a ball and even a pope at one point. Sophie is portrayed as a hero and a character full of strength and perseverance. Furthermore, Sibande takes Sophie into different exhibits throughout the years. She first portrays Sophie in her Long Live the Dead Queen exhibition from 2009 to 2013. Long Live the Dead Queen portrays Sophie as a maid who is reclaiming who she post-colonialism. She is then brought back again in a different setting in The Purple Shall Govern In. This exhibit is when Sibande allows the new Sophie to come out and express herself. The exhibit takes a place of an installation which takes over the space. Sophie makes a reappearance with Sibande's most current series, I Came Apart at the Seams, which takes place from 2019 to the present. Sophie is also depicted in a sculpture called Sophielsie, which Sibande created in honor of her great-grandmother, a domestic worker whose masters gave her Elsie as a Western name. Brace yourself for an enlightening exploration of collections as we dive into its profound implications. Sibande's work is held in the following permanent collections: University of Michigan Museum of Art, Ann Arbor, MI Toledo Museum of Art, Toledo, O.H. Spencer Museum of Art, Lawrence, K.S. National Museum of African Art, Washington, D.C. Brace yourself for a captivating discussion on solo exhibitions as we explore its nuances and implications. Long live the dead queen. Inner City Johannesburg, Joburg City World Premiere Annual Exhibition, Johannesburg National Arts Festival, Grahamstown, South Africa, 2010. Mary Sibande and Sophie Tomikai's Take Central Court, Spencer Museum of Art, University of Kansas, USA, 2012. The Purple Shall Govern, Must Art Contemporain du Val de Marne, Paris, 2013. The Purple Shall Govern, Grahamstown National Arts Festival, Grahamstown, South Africa, 2013. Lyon Biennale of Contemporary Art, the Museum of Contemporary Art, Lyon, France, 2013. The Purple Shall Govern, Ezekiel South African National Gallery, Cape Town, Standard Bank Gallery, Johannesburg, South Africa, 2014. Right Now. Stellenbosch University's Woodfees Festival, Stellenbosch University's Art Museum, Stellenbosch, South Africa, 2016. I Came Apart at the Seams, Somerset House, London, 2019. Sophielsea, University of Michigan Museum of Art, Ann Arbor, Michigan, USA, 2021. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into group exhibitions and its impact on our understanding. Reassisting Narratives, Framed, the Netherlands, 2016. Different Angels, Heinrich Linz, Austria, 2017. Beauty and Its Beasts, Durban Art Gallery, Durban, South Africa, 2017. Another Antipodisham and Axis, PS Art Space, Fremantle, Australia, 2017. The Evidence of Things Not Seen, Johannesburg Art Gallery JAG, Johannesburg, South Africa, 2017. 154. Contemporary African Art Fair, Somerset House, London, 2017. Dress Code Gallery MOMO, Cape Town, South Africa, 2017. All Things Being Equal, Zeitz Museum of Contemporary Art Africa MOCAA, Cape Town, South Africa, 2017. South Africa, The Art of a Nation, The British Museum, London, 2017. African Mosaic, Selections from the Permanent Collection, National Museum of African Art, Smithsonian Institution, Washington, Dick, USA, 2017. Friends, Ezekiel South African National Gallery, Cape Town, South Africa, 2018. Cultural Threads, Textiel Museum, Tilburg, Netherlands, 2018. Like Life, Sculpture, Color, and the Body Erno, The Met Brewer, New York City, USA, 2018. Continental Drift, Black Art from South Africa and North Australia, Cairns Art Gallery, Cairns, Australia, 2018. Not a Single Story, Neox Foundation Sculpture Park, Krugersdorp, South Africa, 2018. Shifting Boundaries, a selection of works showcasing South African women artists of the past 100 years, Welldemeed, Cape Town, South Africa, 2018. In Their Own Form, Museum of Contemporary Photography, Chicago, USA, 2018. The Armory Show, Piers 92 and 94, New York City, USA, 2018. Extraordinary, Plug-in New Media Section, Contemporary Istanbul, Turkey, 2018. A New Humanity, Dakar, African Contemporary Art Biennale, Dakar, Senegal, 2018. Made Visible, Contemporary South African Fashion and Identity, Boston Museum of Fine Art, Boston, USA, 2019. Construction of the Possible, Havana Biennale, Havana, Cuba, 2019. Ampersand Foundation Award 21 Years Celebration Exhibition, University of Johannesburg Art Gallery JAG, Johannesburg, South Africa, 2019. FNB Art Joburg SMAC Gallery, Sandton Convention Centre, Johannesburg, South Africa. 2019's Lowell Festival of Arts, Creation, Environment and Utopias, Sotum e Principe. 2019 14th Curitiba International Biennial of Contemporary Art, Curitiba, Brazil. 2019 154 Contemporary African Art Fair, SMAC Gallery, Somerset House, London. 2019 Radical Revisionists, Contemporary African Artists Confronting Past and Present, Moody Center for the Arts, Houston, Texas. 2020 Narratives in Focus, selections from Pam's collection, Pres Art Museum, Miami, Florida. 2025. As we progress, let's shine a spotlight on awards and distinctions and examine its intricate interplay within our topic. 2017 Smithsonian National Museum of African Art Award. 2014 Johannesburg Alumni Dignitas Award. 2013 Standard Bank Young Artist Award. She has also been a Smithsonian Fellow in Washington, D.C., an Ampersand Foundation Fellow in New York, and a fellowship in the University of Michigan Fellowship. In Sibande was the Virginia Celsius Gildersleeve Professor at Barnard College. Your feedback helps me improve, so please take a moment to leave a comment or review.